Welcome to Howard Brown Barber and Beauty Institute. Today, we are doing the review for chemistry and chemical safety. Let's begin. Beauty and wellness professionals should study and have a thorough understanding of chemistry because clients often quiz beauty and wellness professionals on this important knowledge. Chemistry experiments are often regular practice at salons and spas. It is unrelated to the safe operation of a salon or spa. Every product used in the beauty industry contains some type of chemical. If you chose D, every product used in the beauty industry contains some type of chemical, you are correct. The effects of cosmetics and beauty products are based on how the body reacts to chemicals. Pleased the beauty professional is with the results. Favorably, the new styles compare with the old. Friends and family members react to a new look. If you chose A, the body reacts to chemicals, you are correct. Creams, lotions, masks, and makeup only contain chemicals if they come from ingredients manufactured in a laboratory. Never contain chemicals. Only contain chemicals if they are not made from natural sources such as plant extracts. Contain chemicals whether they come from natural sources or from ingredients manufactured in a laboratory. If you chose D, contain chemicals whether they come from natural sources or from ingredients manufactured in a laboratory, you are correct. Which of the following is defined as any substance that occupies space and has weight? Potentially dangerous, a chemical, matter, a beauty product. If you chose C, matter, you are correct. Everything you can touch and everything you can see is matter except for which of the following? Living and once living bodies, chemicals and powders, light and electricity, liquids and gases. If you chose C, light and electricity, you are correct. Blank is the simplest form of chemical matter. An element, a chemical, a liquid, a gas. If you chose A, an element, you are correct. There are blank elements are known to science today. 18, 118, 81, 108. If you chose B, 118, you are correct. Of all the elements known to science today, blank occur naturally on Earth. 19, 89, 18, 98. If you chose D, 98, you are correct. Which of the following are defined as the basic units of matter? Protons, electrons, atoms, neutrons. If you chose C, atoms, you are correct. Blank is an example of a compound molecule. The oxygen we breathe, the ozone layer, common table salt, pure nitrogen. If you chose C, common table salt, you are correct. Blank is an example of a compound molecule. Liquid nail polish hardening. Ice melting to become water. Exposed metal rusting. Water evaporating into the air. If you chose C, exposed metal rusting, you are correct. When salt is dissolved into water, salt is the solute and water is the solvent. Salt and water are both solutes. Salt and water are both solvents. Water is the solute and salt is the solvent. If you chose A, salt is the solute and water is the solvent, you are correct. All liquids are both miscible and immiscible. Immiscible. Miscible. Either miscible or immiscible. If you chose D, either miscible or immiscible, you are correct. What do immiscible liquids form when they are combined? Solutions, stable mixtures, miscible liquids, suspensions. If you chose D, suspensions, you are correct. A solute is a substance that is dissolved in a solution, liquid not capable of being mixed to form a stable solution, substance that dissolves a solvent and makes a solution, stable physical mixture of two or more substances. If you chose A, substance that is dissolved in a solution, you are correct. A solvent is any substance that dissolves a solute and makes a solution. Liquid, not capable of being mixed to form a stable solution. Substance, dissolved into a solution. Stable physical mixture of two or more substances. If you chose A, substance that dissolves a solute and makes a solution, you are correct. Which of the following is true of solutions? They are surfactants. They are stable mixtures. They are immiscible. They are usually a solid color. If you chose B, they are stable mixtures, you are correct. The very first surfactants were motor oils, soaps, cooking oils, nail polishes. If you chose B, soaps, you are correct. What is the overexposure principle used to describe how overexposure determines immunity, how overexposure determines safety, how overexposure determines tolerance, how overexposure determines toxicity? If you chose D, how overexposure determines toxicity, you are correct. What is pH an abbreviation of? Potential hydrogen, pure hydrochloric acid, probable H2O, productively high. If you chose A, potential hydrogen, you are correct. Understanding pH is important for the beauty and wellness professional because it is directly related to income potential. All salon owners require it. It is essential for passing all exams. It affects the hair, skin, and nails. If you chose D, it affects the hair, skin, and nails, you are correct. What is the pH scale used to measure acidity and alkalinity, levels of carbon dioxide, overexposure and underexposure, levels of oxygen? If you chose A, acidity and alkalinity, you are correct. To which of the following do all acids owe their chemical reactivity? The hydrogen ion, alkali, oxygen, overexposure. If you chose A, the hydrogen ion, you are correct. Among the following choices, acids would most likely be used to swell the hair, raise the pH of products, soften calloused skin, exfoliate the skin. If you chose D, exfoliate the skin, you are correct. If your client requests that you use a solution that is neutral to their skin, which of the following pH should you be using? A pH of 14, a pH of 5, a pH of 0, a pH of 7. If you chose B, a pH of 5, you are correct. Acid, alkali, neutralization, reactions occur when an acid is mixed with an alkali in equal proportions, balancing the total pH and forming water, H2O, and a salt, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, a sulfur. If you chose A, a salt, you are correct. An oxidizing agent, blank oxygen, releases, nullifies, absorbs, increases. If you chose A, releases, you are correct. A reducing agent subtracts hydrogen from a chemical compound, adds oxygen to a chemical compound, subtracts nitrogen from a chemical compound, adds hydrogen to a chemical compound. If you chose D, adds hydrogen to a chemical compound, you are correct. During combustion of a substance, blank accompanies the rapid oxidation. Neutralization, the production of heat and light. An ionization of the substance. An endothermic reaction. If you chose B, the production of heat and light, you are correct. If you left the freezer door open all night at work, all of the ice you had in the freezer would probably melt, This would be a result of an exothermic reaction, neutralization, ionization, an endothermic reaction. If you chose D, an endothermic reaction, you are correct. Which of the following is true of products that are incompatible? They are always considered dangerous. They can be safely mixed with proper precautions. They should never be used on clients. No two should be stored next to each other. If you chose D, no two should be stored next to each other, you are correct. Hydrogen peroxide should never be mixed with bleach because it creates a potentially deadly gas. It discolors more than lightens the hair. They become unpredictable in their use. It dries out hair excessively. If you chose A, it creates a potentially deadly gas, you are correct. Which of the following should you be sure to do when mixing chemicals? Add the water to the chemical, not the other way around. Use a measuring device, such as a measuring cup or spoon. Avoid rooms or areas that are well ventilated. Never use secondary containers, such as spray bottles. If you chose B, use a measuring device, such as a measuring cup or spoon, you are correct. Blank for the disposal of many of the chemicals used in salons or spas. Most states and counties do not have regulations in place. There are strict and universal regulations in place across the United States. Most states and counties have regulations in place. There are no regulations in place anywhere across the United States. If you chose A, most states and counties do not have regulations in place, you are correct. Guidelines for properly storing chemicals do not include to never haphazardly combine two chemicals, to never dispose of chemicals in their original containers, to always lock up chemicals when not in use, to never allow chemicals to sit out. If you chose B, to never dispose of chemicals in their original containers, you are correct. The safety data sheet SDS replaced the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, Material Safety Data Sheet, National Institute of Health, Environmental Protection Agency. If you chose B, Material Safety Data Sheet, you are correct. How many categories are all SDSs formatted into? 8, 10, 16, 12. If you chose C, 16, you are correct. There are blank accepted pictograms included in all SDSs. 6, 9, 16, 3. If you chose B, 9, you are correct. SDSs are designed for use only by new employees, use only by managers, everyday use, use in an emergency. If you chose D, use in an emergency, you are correct. In the uniform order of the SDS, comes immediately after the first category of identification: hazard identification, disposal considerations, first aid measures, toxicology information. If you chose A, hazard identification, you are correct. A carcinogen is best described as a material that is very easy to ignite, substance that causes cancer, substance that is made of carbon, material capable of igniting or burning. If you chose B, substance that causes cancer, you are correct. Which of the following is capable of igniting and burning? A chemical, a mutagen, a carcinogen, a combustible. If you chose D, a combustible, you are correct. If you were the owner of the local salon or spa, why would it be so important that you insist that for every chemical used, there is an SDS available? Because it is a requirement of OSHA, because it is the most cost-effective policy, because it enhances the image of the business, because most clients will insist on it. If you chose A, because it is a requirement of OSHA, you are correct. This concludes this lesson. Make sure that you like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like more information about our school, please join our community at howardbrownonline.com. Howard Brown, where learning never stops.